Seattle Kraken have hired Jessica Campbell as the first full-time female assistant coach in NHL history. This is huge. It isn't the first time Campbell has made history. In 2022, the Kraken hired Campbell as an assistant coach for their AHL affiliate of the Coachella Valley Thunderbirds, where she became the first woman behind the bench.
I'm humbled, obviously, to be in this position, and you speak to the word first, to be the first, but that's never really where my focus is. It's always on the work, it's on the impact, it's on the job, and you know, there's a lot to this game and to this job, and so I'm never taking for granted. But I think the biggest thing is that I'm reminded often, and it just puts a lot of meaning into the work. And I know that if the team has success and that my impact is a good one, then it could potentially open up doors for others.
Absolutely. And joined now by our own women's hockey trailblazer, Cheryl Pounder. Cheryl, the Kraken hiring Jessica Campbell is a historic hiring. Put it into context for us.
Well, Jermaine, it is so difficult to really do. I want a fist pump, right, to the high heavens right now. And it's interesting. I was coming out of a rink this morning, hard to believe, right, in the off season. And I'm coming out of an arena, and it was high performance, and it was filled with men, women, boys, and girls. And then I got the news. And it's interesting. I reflected back to when I was a little girl, and I reflected back to my mom, to be honest with you. My mom was my coach when I was very, very young. And a lot of people don't know that she grew up in a hockey family. Her father was the GM of the Montreal Junior Canadiens. She used to hide in one of the rooms or on the stairs when the likes of Jean Beliveau or Scotty Bowman would come over, and she would listen to them. And she would listen to them, and she would hear them, and she would find ways to look at the game differently. She would go to the forum. She would watch. And then finally one day, when I was pretty young and wanted to play the game, she said, Cheryl, I'm going to coach you, at a time when women were not coaching. But she didn't have the skill set to execute because she'd never played. But she was absolutely brilliant because she was a student of the game, and she had been listening and watching for so many years. So she went out and she got someone to help her. She went out, and the other coach of my team was going to be Scott Laughton's father. Yes, the coach, Scott Laughton, the Philadelphia Flyers captain. You know him? Well, his father was my coach as well. So he would execute those skills, and together we would win provincial championships. And so when I think of my mother, I think women have been in the rinks for a very, very long time. And for someone like Jessica Campbell to come along through the ranks, to play as a young girl, to excel at all levels, to be a product of the national team, to play in the CWHL, to be a world-class skating coach, to get to back-to-back Calder Cup finals with Coachella, to work alongside the next coach of the Seattle Kraken, who said to her, you know what? We want you. We want you because of your relationships. We want you because of your details, because of your hockey mind. So today it all comes full circle, Jermaine, from sitting in the rink earlier this morning to reflecting about my mom, because women have been in the rinks, but once they get the opportunity, they are establishing themselves at the table, and she will do a marvelous job. I am thrilled.
Cheryl, that story gives me goosebumps. Thank you for sharing. That is simply incredible. And to think what you've accomplished, wow, that was full circle as well. Now, to the next question. Do you think this hiring will lead to other organizations following in the Kraken's footsteps?
Absolutely, because I think of one word, and Campbell said it herself, impact. Impact is cascading, and it takes just one. And the magnitude of that right now, she is the first. Just think about that for a second. She is the first. And she is the first because she's been given opportunity. And as these women get more platforms, whether it's in the NCAA, whether it's in the junior ranks, whether it's in the AHL, they're going to have the opportunity to receive that kind of mentorship to show their skill sets and their brilliant hockey minds. So yeah, impact starts with one, but it cascades to many. So I truly believe that we will start to see it open up the window. But it is always going to be about, to me, the best person for the job. And as women get to the floor, get to the ceiling, and find ways to get that mentorship and grow within the game, yes, they are going to have a seat, and they're going to be listened to, and they're going to be fighting for those same jobs. But to me, it all comes down to, are you the best available? And right now, the Kraken have said, Jessica Campbell, you are.
Well, Cheryl, you were the best guest for this. In addition to all you did on the ice, the kids today know you as a trailblazer for becoming the first female voice in the EA Sports NHL games. Cheryl Pounder, thanks for this.